Hello and welcome to part 2 of I bought my fashion degree online. This week we will test the second part of that beautiful course, where we learn so many beautiful things as the Fédération Françoise de la Couture. Françoise is a name? What? No, wait. The 5 principles of design. This sound like knockoff Powerpuff Girls.
Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born, using their weird powers, balance, proportion, rhythm, emphasis, and harmony, have dedicated their lives to fighting bad style and the forces of consumerism.
And the amazing Western fashion style. So wear 2 pairs of cowboy boots with your 4 legs, please. What is in store for us this week then? Module 6. Fabric sourcing, pattern making, sizing, and measurements. And this is the summary of what will we learn.
Sourcing materials and contractors, fabric storyboards, pattern making, sizing, grading and taking measurements, colors, cuts and pockets. There is a short introduction, then they move to sourcing the materials and how to find contractors for your jobs, what you have to consider before hiring someone, how you find your suppliers, how to make fabric and trim storyboards, and then
Pattern making for fashion design.
at the beginning they give you a very large list of tools you have to have in tow at all times.
As an emerging designer, you will need to have a basic knowledge of pattern making and sewing. Again, with the weird statements that are not 100% true. I know several designers that A, don't know how to sew, and B, do not have any clue how to make a pattern. This does not make them less of a designer, and that does not make them worse than any other designers out there. They outsource to people that can make that service better than them. Myself, for instance, I am great in manipulating patterns. I do not like to draft them myself, so I hired a person to make a sloper, which is a basic pattern form for everything, which I can then manipulate to each of the different designs that I make. That doesn't make me less of a designer. Maybe not having a certification does, but not knowing how to draft a pattern or to sew does not make anyone less of a designer. Basic math skills. No. You don't need those. This is a lie. This is a big fat lie. Leave me alone now. Leave me alone.
Then things get very ominous for me.
So it is important that you have sufficient math skills. If you don't, then you should practice so you're ready when it comes time to work with rulers, measuring tapes, percentages, and fractions. Fraction of my sanity just flew out of the window by reading this sentence.
I felt personally threatened by this statement. Threatened. I do not accept that.
Keep in mind that every phase of production in fashion design will rely on some maths.
Then they discussed pattern paper and I was very confused.
Are they talking about paperweight really? That will... What? Your pattern will begin as a 3-dimensional garment. No, it will begin as a 2-dimensional thing and will turn into a 3-dimensional garment when you're done. What? This doesn't make sense at all.
Then they proceed to explain how to mark a block, dart manipulation, slash and spread, and to add sleeves. All of that in very short sentences.
However, what are you talking about? There are no examples. For a person who is getting an introduction to fashion design, you're throwing words out there with no examples.
And then they try to explain to us how to take measurements to make, wearable garments before trying their best to explain grading a pattern, which is an art on itself. But they try it. They fail at it, but they try it.
Make sure all your seams, notches, and punch marks match before grading your pattern. Not only before, after as well. Because after you grade it, they will move. And you have to prove everything to see if it matches.
Reinforcing that all of that we talk until now was done without any visual examples.
Finally, a visual example of what they mean. Colors, cuts, and pockets.
Up until now, I didn't figure out why they only talk about colors or any other type of embellishments, if I may call them like that.
Anyways, colors.
Very short explanation on colors. And that was it. That was the module.
Module 7. Completing your pattern, garment construction, and draping techniques. Summary of what will I learn?
fitting, altering, cutting, laying the pattern, garment construction, surface-specific techniques, and draping on the mannequin. As usual, very ambitious.
At this point in the course, you should have some basic pattern making and sizing skills, which will help you at every stage of your career in the fashion industry. Based on Module 6 and what they showed me I could do with pattern making, which was nothing, I have no grasp whatsoever what I should be doing. They showed me how I should take some measurements, but that was it. They never showed me any drafting techniques. None. Did you see anything? Am I insane?
Yes, I know the answer to that question, but this is irrelevant at this point. They go to show a small introduction on how to fit the toile and alter the pattern, how to cut and lay the pattern, and how to prepare the fabric. And this is when I realized that I really want to meet the person who proofread this course, so I can shake his or her hand and say, wow, just wow.
Pure wool fabrics will shrink, so you need to steam them with iron prior to cut to... Pure wool fabrics will shrink, so you need to steam them with iron prior to cutting.
I am everything but sane right now. What is this stupidity?
Tools for garment construction.
They give you a very nice list of tools that you need to buy, and then a nicer price. This course is not only disappointments after all.
Oh, they numbered it so I can... Oh, I can know which one is which. Hey. Kudos to you for doing that.
Then they explain some seams, some hand sewing techniques, and linings without any examples before attacking the surface specific techniques with those very nice cards, you know, with the word arts, those ones. To be honest, I find them to be very misleading because they have a camera icon on the upper left, which means to me that this is supposed to be a video and not just a still image, and it's just a still image, so they lie to me again.
Ay, so beautiful. Very sophisticated. Like this furs over here. So sophisticated. Sequin and beaded. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Having survived the terrible mistreatment of my eyes came the part that I was most excited for, draping on the mannequin.
Constructed. Proofreading, please.
They offered us also a list of equipments that we needed to start this. The list was quite extensive, but they forgot a very important detail. Can you spot the mistake? I will give you a few seconds to think. Let me know in the comments if you found it, before I give you the answer.
Aren't you forgetting something very important? Like, for example, a draping doll? To nitpick a little bit more?
They give us a few basic instructions with no visual aids. And that was the end of the module.
Next one. Module 8. Garment structure, garment tech packs, and pre-production. Everything is 100 minutes. Summary of what will I learn?
Here we will go through some garment support and structure, finishes, how to find a manufacturer for your line, creating a tech pack, and preparing to produce your line. After the introduction, we go straight to garment structure.
Again, a little bit of fashion history. Nice complementation to that second module.
They start listing the supporting materials, citing boning as one of the most used ones.
For heavy-duty zip ties.
They also list different techniques.
Another way to add shape and volume while emphasizing parts of the body is through a process called padding. What I'm doing right now during quarantine. I'm eating everything I want, so when it's finished, I can roll out of here without having any concerns of getting hurt in the process. Blah, 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 blah. Nice!
They cite other things with very weirdly constructed sentences.
There are also finer versions of netting which feature the hexagon pattern and are called pull. Ugh, these. Ugh.
The garment padding example was awesome.
They just padded the draping doll.
Then they talk about interlining, corsetry, how to add volume to a garment, some finishes, buttons, and finding a clothing manufacturer for your line, and how to create a garment tech pack. That was not instructive at all. How to create a bill of materials page, which is also very short and very confusing, and how you prepare to produce your line. And that was it for the module. There were no further visual examples of anything, and everything was very well summarized, or very badly summarized. I don't know which way I should go.
This module was quite okay. Not many things to nitpick other than the weird examples they showed us. I wish I'd had more information on the tech packs.
But I guess we're not paying for information, so let's proceed to the next module.
Module 9! Oh my god, I'm almost done! Huh? No, wait, wrong one. I did the 8! See, this is what I mean, that this website is really weird. I have to go down to go to module 9. Ugh! And the loading times are ridiculous. Now, finally, module 9. Creating, financing, and marketing a clothing label. What will I learn?
Business plan, owning a business in the US, how to start, finance, and market your clothing line. In the introduction, they say that the industry is very broad and that you have a lot of opportunities to work.
But remember that we never give you any examples. You will also learn how to create a business plan. Will I really?
And there are a lot of techie sentences throughout the course. A lot.
As you move through this course, you will gain the skills you will need to break into the industry and create your own destiny.
I mean, seriously, I already bought the course, so stop it. Just give me information. Stop it. Like, for example, teaching us how to properly make a business plan. They don't do that. They just give us general sentences with very little information.
Why don't just give an example? We are from House Chanel. We plan on designing this, and this. Why don't they just put more information in this? Although you want to be specific, you should also keep it general enough to encourage your reader to read more. So don't give away your entire plan in the first section. Discuss specifics. But you just told me not to. You should get very detailed at some point in your business plan. Where then?
Everything is a secret. We will not give you the tea on how to succeed in the fashion industry because it's all a secret. A very secretive secret. Even though we promised you that you will have all the information necessary to succeed in this highly sought-after career.
And after a few short sentences, that's it for business plan.
Then they discuss how to own a business on the United States, but making general assumptions for other places as well, which can be very confusing.
I understand that this is focused on the American market, but here it says, like many retail business, fashion is not heavily regulated, which means you don't need a certificate or license to sell clothing. That's not true for everywhere, so be careful with this kind of statements. If you're not coming from the US like me, in Germany you need a license to sell pretty much everything. Just saying, just a heads up,
Then a few sentences on funding possibilities.
How to sell.
If at first you fail.
Open a small store or an e-commerce site and get your name out there, and eventually your label will get picked up. I started Scribble in Pockets in 2018. Eventually it will be picked up, so I'm calmer now, okay?
Then how to finance and market your clothing line, and that was it.
I am really angry at this one. There is not much information there. They didn't show me how to make a business plan in a correct manner.
I seriously don't know why I'm still disappointed at this point. But let's continue, I'm almost there. Goal almost accomplished.
The final module! Oh my god, I'm so excited! Can you see how excited I am? Module 10! The fashion industry, career opportunities, resources in the US, and developing your brand. What will I learn?
No way! Could it really be that they will talk about career opportunities now? Oh my god! Aside from that, they will talk about the industry in the US, how to develop your brand identity, and preparing for the fashion week.
What? What? Oh.
You can now place your bets on how much of a heartbreak that will be. Anyone? Anyone? Then they talk about the fashion industry in the US and some of the design characteristics over there.
The United States has a unique fashion industry that represents the import of fashion apparel in the world. Damn it, dudes, it's the last one. Couldn't you at least check the last one?
But for me, la pièce de résistance inside this 10-module course was this sentence over here. Check this out!
A fashion designer creates clothing, which can include trousers, skirts, suits, accessories, and shoes. Thank you for explaining to me what clothing is instead of focusing on what matters, like, for example, market research or how to make a business plan.
Or you know, I might get confused and just go out in the wild dressed in paper or plastic bags. Who knows?
Preparing for Fashion Week.
Well, before that, they go through how you should build your brand and some resources in the US, but the information is so minimal that I will not waste my time or yours with this. Regarding how to attend Fashion Week, they just tell you have to prepare to do some heavy networking, that you should talk to people, and that was it. And then assignment.
But no! How do I get to Fashion Week? How can I go to Fashion Week? How can I, as a designer, apply to Fashion Week? How does any of this work? But they They said they would show me how to get to Fashion Week. Wait, preparing for Fashion Week. But how to get there? I have finished it. You have made it to the end of the course. Before you receive your certification, you must first take a short test. Click the button below to start. But I didn't study. I printed out all of the modules so that you have an idea how much paper it will go to do that. This much paper. I printed only half of these sheets so I don't spend that much paper, but you have an idea. 10 modules printed out and sorted with all of my animal separation tags. All worksheets are the same for all of the modules. You have 3 questions, 2 of them are essays and 1 of them is a fill in the blanks, and on the last page you have all of the answers. The fill in the blank sentences are the same sentences in the modules, so you don't even have to think that much, which makes me wonder, are we really learning something here? I know I'm just nitpicking at this point, and of course we're learning something, even if just a little bit. I don't really agree with this kind of methods. I find them pretty lazy. I'm on module 6 now, and it has the activity of write a paragraph explaining the importance of understanding basic math skills as a fashion designer. No, I will not! To be honest, I was done with the final 5 modules in 1.5 hours. Why? Because there wasn't much information there. Then I took 1 extra hour to reread everything and work on the remaining worksheets, what brought my total hours to 8.5. That is a little over half of what they showed me. Now, it's time to take the test, and I have half an hour to answer 30 questions. Take me to the test. The test was pretty okay. It was not hard, it was not easy. There weren't any questions that weren't in the course, so it was pretty fine to answer everything. I did finish in 9 minutes though. Did I answer everything like my nose? Yes, I did. And the results show. Will you complete the hemlines in the knit and jersey fabrics? This is embarrassing. I don't know the name of the stitches. And the same typos. There it is! Again! Fédération Française de la Couture. Oh! Even in the test? No! I finished! My fashion designer, 22 of 30 points, which is 73%, which is for me mediocre, but I passed. I'm a fashion designer, bitch! Ah! I completely successfully completed my fashion design certification.
So how do you graduate in times of quarantine? Like the lonesome sucker you are, of course. No change there. So what is the conclusion? Is this course worth it? For 25 bucks, go for it. Do not pay full price for this, and to be honest, for any of their other courses, because I have a very strong feeling they are as bad as this one. Will this bring your career any further? I don't think so, but it is a nice thing to have on your wall, I guess. Are they legit? They have come under fire for their allegations that their certification is what is needed for certain professions. Even though that is not the case, I am aware that this is a marketing strategy, but for some people that might not be very clear, and they might pay loads of money for a very bad training that will lead to nothing. So I do believe they are legit in terms of business, but not in terms of results. What I mean by that, this might not be the career boost you need to get the promotion you so want, so be careful. The typos, the ugly art, the lack of information, the weird phrasing, and the very audacious and bold statements are very off-putting and come through as very unprofessional and amateur, in my opinion. Do I recommend this course to anyone? If you have 25 bucks laying around that you don't need for anything else, yes, unless you can buy a sewing machine or some extra fabric for a nice project, then don't do it. But I did it, and now I'm a certified fashion designer. Will I ever get a job with this? I doubt it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I helped you make a decision about this. And if you like sewing shenanigans and crazy fashion projects, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye!
In Hogwarts.
I did graduate, but I graduated alone in the dean's office. Because
Alone in the woods, I graduated from the witch college.
So